Hey DIYers, today's outdoor project has me dressing up this area here where you see no grass, and I'm going to use this metal edging to do so. I got an area around my sprinkler system here, the wiring, the cable box, and the grounding wire where there's no grass. I did a recent project here, and I wanted to leave this area open where there's no grass because my weed eater, when I go to weed eat, keeps whacking these. One, I don't want to break this again because that's what happened here. Two, I can't get in behind these very well with the weed eater. And three, once I get a fence here, you won't be able to get under there very well. I decided I'm gonna edge it out to put some decorative gravel in there. So let me show you how I'm gonna get all this fit in there in one piece. Now I'm using metal edging here, and yes, you can get it in kind of a composite plastic wood type stuff. And honestly, I didn't think about using that. I just thought I'd get this metal and do it. Maybe it'd have been easier to use that, but too late, I've already got this. Now, what I need to do is basically bend this to the form I need. But I can't just start bending it because it's got this little lip here. This is 14 gauge steel and it doesn't just bend. So we got to do a little something to help it. And here's what we're going to do. I'm going to use my metal cutting miter saw for part of this. And if you don't have one of these, that's okay. I'm going to use another tool that you could do the same thing with. But anyhow, I'm going to cut through just this lip only. And I'm going to do it where I need to make my first bend, and it's going to be obviously right here. And you'll see why I'm going to do it here and not cut that all the way off. And then I'm going to take another tool and show you what I'm going to do next. Next one I'm going to do is use my angle grinder here with a metal cut-off blade on it. I'm going to take the edge of this putty knife here, my square, and mark a line where I need to run that grinder. What I'm going to attempt to do is kind of angle this direction and this direction so that it'll fold up. We'll see how well it works. Alrighty, let's see if it bends. Yeah. Very nice. Very nice. Square as can be. Well, that worked way better than I thought it would, to be honest. Perfect 90. It's a real tight fit up there. And I bent it as soon as I got done grinding it, so the metal was warm and it bent easy, and it did. Now what I need to do is figure out how much I've got to add extra when I make that bend at the measurement I want. All right, so let me get my tape measure. Here to the outside most edge, it's about 8 1/8. To the inside edge, 7/8. So I gotta allow for 1/4 inch. Okay, so from the house to this edge right here, that measurement is 10 3/4. But what I wanna make sure is that it fits real close to this edge of this concrete right here, and that's going to be 11 1/4. So the grass might have to get moved a little bit. So I need from here to the outside edge to be 11 1/4. So 11 1/4, if I have to allow 1/4 inch, so it should be 11 inches on the inside. That way when I bend it, it's 11 1/4. So what I'm going to want to do is cut on this side of the line at this angle, and cut on this side of the line at that angle, and it should bend just perfect where I need it. That one's not as pretty as the other one was. Let's see what my measurement is. 11 1/4. Beautiful. Now I need to slide this in here and see how long I want it. Yes, I could take a measurement, but I think this will be a little more accurate. Slide in right behind there. I have to cut the grass back a little bit. Say right here. Now I'll need to make that 1/4 inch short to make the turn. So there's the mark I made out at the grass. Measure back 1/4 inch, and this is where I need to make my beveled cuts. 74 1/4. I'm off by 1/8. That's supposed to be 74 3/8, but that is close enough. So I got to make another bend at the 11 1/4 that I did there. Then I'll take this around again, probably another 8 inches, I think is what this is here. So what I'm going to do is measure this out, cut that off, get this bent, and we'll see how well it fits. That went fairly well. I'm off by, I think, a 1/16 of an inch. All right, let's get this slid in here. Got a little serrated knife here. It's actually a duct cutting knife, but I'm going to use it to cut this sod. I don't care if it dulls it. Slide in behind. And the reason I put this back here like this on each end is because, well, that one already has holes, this one doesn't. But I'm gonna put a stake here so it keeps it against the house and it doesn't tend to shift outward. That looks awesome. Now I just gotta cut along the grass. Now, I know you're thinking, but that sticks up 3 inches. We can get it tapped down in there. Grass is up. It's just towards the top. So when I weed eat, I'm just weed eating over the top of it. And then I gotta dig this dirt out. I'm gonna dig a little bit of dirt out just because it's really packed in there tight. That way I can get it started a little easier. Ground kind of slopes that direction. Okay, this is all set. Now I did go through and take out some of this dirt because I didn't want that much in there and kind of packed it down. And I'm anywhere from about 2.5 to 3 inches below, and the whole piece is 3 3/4 wide, so that's plenty. So now all I'm going to do is take about 5 inches, add it to this measurement here, that's 79, and then another 5 here, so 16 inches, and I'm going to put some landscape fabric down in here, because it wouldn't be complete without landscape fabric. All right, I got it laid in here. I'm just gonna take scissors to cut out where it needs to be. Instead of making it 15 inches, I just doubled it over. And the reason is I got this same landscape fabric in my front flower bed. And believe it or not, I've gotten some weeds to grow through it. So I'm doubling it over and see if that keeps it from it. And cut a little slit here. Come down here and cut a little slit. And once I get this in place where I want it, I'll come back and cut a little opening around the pipe so that it lays down in there real nice. Don't worry, that tape, it'll come off when I'm done. Okay, I like that. All righty, let me go get the gravel that I'm gonna put in here. So I'm just using some leftover decomposed granite that I used in my front flower bed, and I'm using a kitty litter scooper to scoop it out. It's the perfect size, gets just enough, doesn't fall through. I don't know what you call a bed sheet corner folded or whatever. I folded the corners up, put the gravel against it so it'd stay. Just gonna get some in here. I may not have enough, but that's okay. I can always get more. Now I'll need to get another bag or two because I want to fill it up pretty full, but you get the idea. Now when I weed eat, yeah, grass will fall in there, but I can take a leaf blower, blow it right out, not a problem. Almost forgot, gotta do my spikes. Now I got holes here. I'm not gonna drive a spike in here because I got plumbing coming through here and I do not wanna hit it. I don't have any issues here, so put one in here. Put one in the corner. There we go. That'll hold it. Went and got more decomposed granite, filled this up as full as I wanted it. I don't want it any more full than this because my worry is if I get a heavy rain, it may actually cause these rocks to float and then float out. And then I just did a rinse and repeat around this pipe here. I got this one all filled up, the same thing. And the only thing on this one is it's not quite centered. Yeah, it'd been nicer if it was centered a little better. It's done. Now when I run my weed eater, I won't be hitting this pipe. I won't be hitting the pipes down there or the fence. And so that's how I took a straight piece of metal edging, bent it into multiple 90s to make a box around these utility pipes so my weed eater doesn't damage them. Now if you like outdoor projects and want to see some others, click on this playlist right here and it'll take you to a whole bunch that I've already done. So until next time, happy DIYing.